What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to HawksNest. It's your host, as always, Riley Feenan. You guys can follow me at Big Canada 79. As always, my co-host, the man that's running the buttons, Matty Will. What's going on?
What's up, everyone?
I'm excited about this one.
Yes.
The dude doesn't even fit in the camera. He's just a unit. Just a unit. Quinn Meinerz is joining us from Wisconsin Whitewater, the projected top 100 pick in the NFL draft. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me, you guys. I'm excited to answer some of the questions you guys got and, talk to some Seahawks fans,
Oh, yes. Well, we're excited to be able to have you on. Coming towards the end of the draft process, we're like, 2 weeks out? You got the days counting down, I'm sure. What does a day-to-day process kind of look like for you?
Get up, and I'm really focused on my training right now, just to kind of get back into, moving like a football player again. Because, when you go through that combine training, you really kind of put football stuff aside and really trying to become like a track athlete, essentially. So back to, lifting heavy weights and stuff like that. And that's what I've been doing every day now. So, I get up pretty early, drive 40 minutes to my gym, and come back. And then once I get back here, it's, sometimes doing podcasts like this. Sometimes it's, I have multiple meetings with teams in a day, or it could be anything. So my days are usually pretty busy, pretty packed, but I think I've gotten a good balance and got a solid handle on my time management.
Your work ethic, man, is the one thing that Matt and I are kind of harp on, that you're like the old school brand of offensive line. You're, want to maul people. You want to take people and put them through the dirt. Like, Matt, you have the clip queued up.
Yeah,
it's something we can slow this down.
I haven't like, I don't want to say laugh, but like I haven't lost it from an offensive line play like this in a long time. Like I just been watching a couple times.
Dude, oh my god,
what is happening? That linebacker gets hit with so much force. Like he doesn't get caught up.
It's violent.
He gets smacked.
That's
Unreal.
Violent, dude. I don't know what they're feeding you down. I don't know what they're feeding you down there. Like Wisconsin Whitewater's offensive line must have averages like 330.
Yeah, we're pretty big. We were pretty big at Whitewater. I mean, I think our right guard was 6'6". Our center that year was 6'3". I was 6'3". Our left tackle was 6'2", and same thing with our right tackle. So we were pretty big offensive. And we usually rely on our mantra of pound the rock, which is running the football. So we take a lot of pride in that there.
I love
dude,
it.
I know you're a big guy, like 6', but the dude that's playing right guard in your junior tape is massive.
Yeah, that's 6'6", 315, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus. Like, I don't know what they're feeding me down there, dude. Like, that's wild. So are you okay? So I'm going to ask this. This is kind of a weird question, but it kind of brings me into more. Are you a fan of football? Like, do you watch football on Sundays? Do you watch other college guys? Or
so for college, I really don't watch college football at all, and I even more so didn't watch it this year because I should have been playing on Saturdays. Unfortunately, we couldn't because our season was canceled. So in spite, I didn't really watch any college football this year. I usually. I'll kind of tune into a couple games, and kind of watch some of the highlights in the NFL. During a season, when you're doing football Monday through Saturday, Sunday I kind of want to break from it, and kind of my break is just not watching, NFL Sunday football. But this past year I've watched a couple of games, and I was trying to learn a lot of, what centers are doing in the NFL because I knew that that's the position I had to play in. I think I know what your next question is going to be of who was I watching.
Yeah, who would be the guys that you're looking forward to going against? Like those are.
Yeah, going against. I think the first person is, the most dominant person, defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. I want to see what he's got.
As Hawks fans, we got to bring him up.
Have you watched a lot of film on him at all or anything? Like, have you
his Aaron Donald is just unbelievably, dominant, which is just, usually, there's, good plays here and there, but I mean, he is just dominant consistently, which is what is really interesting to watch. because there's guys out there that are really good, and he's able to, do those things. So it would be interesting to see, what that like quickness is like in a game and what that power is like, just to get a feel for it,
For sure.
Because like he's
I think a lot of guys, that are fans of or just watch the sport are like, it's just block them, and it's just like it's not that easy, man.
It's not that easy.
It's funny. We found a clip there a couple weeks ago, and it was of Antonio Brown just practicing in a park, and some dude showed up and wanted to go one-on-one with him. And this guy was an athlete, like he's played some football, he knew how to line up, he was in good shape. It wasn't even close. Like Antonio Brown made him look silly. Watching the professional athletes compete against other professional athletes does not do them justice. Like the physical performances they put up are insane.
Yeah, like there's Duke Manyweather said it the best. If you look at some of the O-line masterminds highlights, and he goes, your job is you have to go backwards and stop forward momentum of better athletes. That's what you're doing as an offensive lineman.
I still to this day think the hardest position in sports is either corner or offensive tackle.
And that's where a lot of teams got to spend their money if they want to have a really solid, well put together team. It starts with offensive line corners.
100%. Like if you everyone's talking about what Cincinnati should do at the number 5 pick, and it should be Penny Sewell or Rashawn Slater, who you actually worked out with a lot. What was that like?
Oh, it was awesome to be able to see, firsthand, what a Division I athlete kind of looks like, and also what a first rounder looks like as well. Just to kind of see where was I at, because I wasn't able to have a season. I did a lot.
But you had that opportunity, so you were like,
yeah.
So Rashawn Slater is supposed to be in the conversation to be a top 10 pick, and it's not something that we're like hiding. But did you think in the back of your head, you're like, I can play with this dude?
Yeah, I think initially it really started help building the confidence that I've had throughout this entire process, because I just had no idea like what it was going to be, especially with the Senior Bowl too. But to try to be as close as I could with Slater was really cool. I mean, he was still, he was down there for a lot longer than I was, so he was kind of used to the system. But to be able to, kind of keep up with him was definitely like building the confidence of like, hey, I can play with these guys. I'm just as big. I mean, I'm maybe an inch shorter than him, but I think
you're just a couple. Let's be honest. It's just a couple steps behind, and that's it. And you can get that with coaching. You can get that with time. I think, dude, if you put on the tape, I don't care Division III. I said it multiple times. NAIA JUCO. At the end of the day, putting your hand in the dirt and taking the will out of someone is what you're doing by burying them like you do. Like we were watching that playback, and that violence in the next snap and everything that goes on, like he is, like, dude, it's next level. You can play football, like period. I don't know why we need to have this argument or have this conversation. It's so dumb.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was definitely a question that I wanted to answer at the Senior Bowl, which is that level of competition question that pretty much every single scout had the label on me, which was fine. I understood. I mean, it is, I am going against, I think the cliche is like, I'm going against doctors and lawyers every 3.
Yeah.
Not going against
the Allstate commercial?
Other football players.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, man. Yeah. The NCAA commercial. Yeah. Let's not get into that whole conundrum. Damn, dude. I got some questions for you. Maddie, you want to jump in here and you got anything for him?
I mean, I kind of Riley touched on it a little bit before. So like when we were watching that workout video, you're up at your uncle's cabin there. You're up there, you're working, you're doing things, and then to find that time to work out. Your commitment is just something otherworldly from our perspective. Like you are just determined from what we can see, and that grittiness, like what Riley's saying, the technicalities and all that stuff comes with time. But from our perspective, like you said, you put your hand in the dirt and you get things done. And do you think a lot of that stems from having been up there your whole life and just knowing how to work?
I don't know why, but I'm just like a really intrinsically motivated person, and I really enjoy the off seasons just as much as I enjoy the in seasons of football, because you can really make big jumps in the off season, and so that's where I kind of can separate myself from the competition or who I want to be able to, who I'm playing against or whatever. Excuse me. And that's why I like it. I really do love working out, and I think the grind of doing that every single day is where I can separate myself, because there's a lot more to just working out every day. I think you can work out, but it's how hard and how consistently you're going to work out.
Especially while managing other priorities, right? Like, people forget you're not just a football player. You got to go out and be a normal adult too. And it's clear that you can manage all of that in your day-to-day and still find the time to be as competitive as you are.
Yeah, and especially in Division III, most guys are not going, hey, I'm going to play in the NFL in the next couple of years. It's like, all right, I'm going to play football, and my main thing is to be going to school and do whatever you're going to school for. And that's
a hobby kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dude, the more we talk to you, the more we can become fans. Like, honestly, like, that's what it comes down to. And it's not, even if you go somewhere else. So, and we're going to be jacked up for you regardless of where you go. But we got to ask, like, have you talked to the Seahawks?
So I have talked to the Seahawks at the Senior Bowl. Since then, I haven't had any other additional interviews. That's kind of, since the Senior Bowl, that's been kind of the period now, is anybody can be like, hey, let's set up a meeting and get talking. They haven't yet, but I guess that's where that's.
Have you been doing a fair amount of interviews like that?
Yeah, I've done quite a few.
And
I got one tonight with Cincinnati.
Excellent.
Sweet.
Are they pretty grueling, or are they are they very inquisitive about you, or is it more just getting a feel and kind of chatting with you?
It's a little bit of kind of everything. So I think the hardest part of those interviews is when they install a play like as quickly as possible, and then they try to kind of quiz you and see how much you were able to retain. That's kind of like the hardest part of those interviews.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm able to kind of, every interview that I do, I'm able to kind of learn a different play from a different team, and also some of it overlaps a little bit too. So I'm kind of able to, because I want to learn as much as I can before draft day, and I get a playbook, because I want to come in with more knowledge as I can. So to have all these different plays and notes drawn up in my notebook, awesome. I can look back and keep studying on them.
That's awesome. That's definitely using your resources, right? Like, that's taking advantage of every little thing.
So those are like little tests. Has there been any like weird questions?
I've made like one of the weirdest, I guess, interactions was like we got on the Zoom call, we were talking a little bit, and then he goes, "You got a joke for me?" And I was like, my headspace was not even close to that. Like, it was like serious, memorize things, like, let's go. Like, my head was not even close towards like
just on the spot.
That's what they play mind games. They play mind games.
Yeah, and it's fine. Like, it is what it is. I mean, I was just like, I don't have a joke for you right now. Like, I'm just locked in right now. I'm serious.
Locked in.
Hey, at least you're straight up with it, right? Like,
yeah.
I think that's big. That's funny.
Okay.
Got a joke for me.
So being on the topic, you haven't talked to the Seahawks since the Senior Bowl. That's a little disappointing for some of our listeners who are Seahawks fans, but we do have, other listeners, and we are trying to get a little bit more of a broader. Do you have a top 3 that you've spoken to that you would say, like, or maybe a top 5 that you can give us that you've spoken to the most?
I'll give you a one. So the team that's talked to me the most is definitely the Eagles, for sure. I've had multiple meetings with them, but honestly, from what I've heard, it's like the team that doesn't talk to you is the team that picks you or something. I don't know. There's been a lot of
I could see that, right? Because they don't want to make it super obvious. Like, the Seahawks are always about
I've seen a lot of close. Because I've seen a lot of, and throughout some of the vets I've been able to talk to, it's like you might expect one thing, but then a team that you've never talked to might pick you up or something like that. So honestly, like, the way my mindset is, it's just whatever happens, man. Like, I have no stress, no nothing. Like, can't control it.
That's
so why
awesome
focus
for
on
sure.
it?
Yeah.
You just gotta. I think I saw it today. Someone tagged me in it where there was a mock draft where the Seahawks had me at 56. Is that the first pick that the Seahawks have?
Yeah.
This year? Okay.
56 is the earliest. And so you kind of like, okay, all right, I'll put you on the spot. A little bit put you on the spot because I did see you liked a tweet that I was tagged in, and it had somebody who had said that there was no way that you were going to go at 66 because I had a mock draft where I traded down or whatever. So at 66, I picked you, and then the guy said you need to get up 20 more spots to get you. Is there a soft spot that you like? You're like, dude, I'm getting picked here. This is probably where.
Not really. My biggest thing is I want to kind of. I think the record is pick number 60 or 61.
Ali
for Ali Marpet, and so like I want to break the D3 record, and that's kind of where I think that's kind of like that would be cool if that could happen, but like like I said, I'm not really too worried about it.
No,
I don't know what I see. Seattle always. I don't know if you've watched drafts in the past or like you said, Seattle always seems to go unorthodox with their first pick, and their first rounds are always kind of weird, or you're like, why? So honestly, hyping up a Division III guy and who's an absolute monster at a position that the Seattle Seahawks need and we have not had, I think you would be a perfect fit. Like, there's some very good veteran guys there, but there's also young guys that can grow with you. I think Seattle would be a perfect place for you to go. And then you got a guy like Russ. You got guys like DK, Bobby. You know, it's a win now situation. I think that the window is between now and 3 years. We have Russell Wilson's remaining contract. So that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you would fit the Seahawks scheme, but 56, I don't know. I love that you're betting on yourself and you're like, no, I'm gonna be better than that. I'm gonna be like high end too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Those mock drafts, they're entertaining, and that's why I like them. And if anybody kind of tags me in a comment, I try to like it just to show that I saw it or whatever. But like I said, whatever happens, and
it's a big hype thing.
I'll be excited to play for any team.
Oh, for sure.
Well, we know you're going to be picked. Like,
you seem like a pretty nice guy. Like, you seem pretty relaxed, even keel. But when we see you on the football field, you're pretty nasty. Like, do you have like a bit of a switch you turn on and off? Like, are you a different dude on the field, or are you just pretty calm, steady, doing your job kind of guy?
Oh no, yeah. There's definitely a switch where it just goes like serious and like I don't know, kind of pissed off and angry. I was playing pissed off and angry, to be honest.
That's what we see, man, and we love it. Like, the nasty offensive line play is what we're about for sure. It's great.
I think as an offensive line,
I was even, you know, like throughout Whitewater and stuff, you know, I was always like, you know, played a little bit angry. But I think you saw like a different version of that at the Senior Bowl, just because I just had a massive chip, and honestly, it's just been getting bigger and bigger, and I'm really excited to, you know, keep it moving into the NFL, just because. You know, I'm sitting here in the same position as, you know, Notre Dame guys, you know, Alabama guys. Like, I'm out there with them, and I'm just like, man, my path could have been different. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't change anything I did with going D3 and going to Whitewater. But it still kind of makes me a little angry. Be like, man, like I'm just as good as these dudes. I'm just as big as them. Just strong and.
But
be slept on.
It doesn't. Your path, and I think I think that chip on your shoulder will always be there, and I think that's what makes guys that are successful from Division III and from the smaller schools, and why they're successful in the NFL is because they have those massive chips, and they had to grind, and they had to go through the muck and really like earn what they're about to get. Because when they get to that point, and when you get there. You appreciate it more than the guy that may have gone to Alabama, and that's no slag on Alabama, believe me. But that's good for them, man. But it's just like that little chip, you know. For sure,
it's something to prove, and like I think at this point now, like people know you, man. Like you're kind of a big deal. You're in the news, like. I would say you're getting more hype than a lot of these Notre Dame guys. Like, at least on Seahawk Twitter, man, like everybody wants you in the second round. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you are our second round pick as far as every Seahawks fan is concerned. And I think that goes for a lot of teams. Like, like you say you play with a chip on your shoulder, but like there's definitely more behind it now. It's not like you're flying under the radar. Like, people, you're got a fan base, man. Like, it's I want to show something because I saw it and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of like pissed me off, but at the same time it inspired me. So I'm just gonna throw this up here. Okay,
dude.
Just hold on a minute. Come on now. Like, what? Okay, I'll tell you this. I'm about 3 inches taller than you. I probably got a better wingspan. I don't think I can dunk a basketball that well. Like, you got like 70 pounds on me. How, like, the explosiveness, and I remember that article you were kind of talking about having to get leaner, twitchier. Dunking a basketball is a pretty good example of someone at your size being able to get up there like that. Like, you're proving you're more than just a big dude. Like, you're an athlete, man. Eh?
Yeah, I've been working really hard to become a better athlete. You know, the 2018 and 2019 film at Whitewater was good and all, but it wasn't enough to translate well into playing into the NFL. So that was really what I did last year, was kind of reevaluate some of my weaknesses and some of my strengths and try to figure out a game plan. So yeah, that was, you know, I was like, you know what, I'm feeling really bouncy. So like we did a lot of plyo stuff, I believe, on our Friday workouts. And I mean, I was box jumping, I think like 48 inches, and I was like, hey, you know what, let's go see what the dunking kind of looks like. So one of the guys that I work out with, his name's Griff, and I was like, hey, can you come record me? I want to try dunking a basketball. And that was the first attempt. It just slammed, and I was like, holy cow.
That's awesome, dude.
So dude, it was pretty cool.
That video straight up inspired me to get back in shape. I'm like, if this dude can dunk a basketball, like I better figure it out because I got problems.
I can admit I thought I was relatively athletic for someone, but no, this dude can dunk, and I'm 6'8". I cannot dunk. Straight up, I've been tall my entire life, and I still have never dunked.
Yeah, it was one of those things for me that it was kind of like a bucket list item. Like, I wanted to be able to dunk. Like, that was, I kind of always had that like dream in the back of my head. I mean, I could easily grab rim, but it was that next like 4 or 5 inches to be able to dunk.
Yeah, you need to put the ball. I could grab rim. That wasn't the problem. I was fine. I'm not that unathletic. Come on. But I mean, I couldn't put the ball tough in. So
yeah,
I mean, that just shows your athleticism right there. Like, period. Like, that's it. I had draft day is fast approaching. What are days looking like? But what are your emotions like? Are you nervous? Are you excited? What do you like? What are the emotions like right now?
I'm just really excited, man. Like, this is just crazy. Like, if you told me a year ago this is where I'd be telling you you're freaking crazy, man. So I'm really happy and excited to be where I'm at, you know, in this process. I mean, it's honestly unbelievable. I mean, you know, I barely got that Senior Bowl invite, and imagine if I didn't. How much my career and path would have been different. So I'm just really happy to be here, and
you're just like enjoying the ride.
Yeah, I mean, you only get to do this once, so you know, I had a big decision. I had a lot of things I had to work on for a really long time, and to now have it all come together is awesome. So yeah, I'm pretty relaxed. I'm just focused on my daily things of the meetings and the workouts. And my next thing is I really want to get into a freaking playbook, man. Like, I just want to start learning, and because I understand now that the expectations are different. The expectations are, you know, if you're a top 100 pick, you're kind of expected to kind of contribute right away. And it seems like a lot of teams are looking at me as a center, which is still a pretty new position. So like, I kind of had to learn it on the spot at the Senior Bowl, and now I'm going to have to keep learning it into the NFL. So there's a learning curve that I know that's going to happen. So I want to get into, and I want to mitigate that like problem of possibly happening. So that's what I'm mostly wanting, is to get a playbook and start studying this summer and get ready for fall camp and get ready for the next season.
How many times are you snapping a day?
Yeah, after every single workout, I'm snapping. I'm doing at least, I think 5. There'd be 5 both sides inside zone, 5 both sides outside zone, pass sets, 0 sets, balance. So I mean, I'm getting a lot of snaps in of different things that are expected of me and stuff like that. So I mean, I don't know how much that would equate to. Maybe like 50, 60, 70 snaps a day at least.
Yeah, like it's
just all about repetition, right?
Yeah. I played center a long time ago, so I know like the position and learning how to snap, and like when the ball's wet or when the ball's cold, or Wisconsin weather. would be different in December than it is in August. You know what I mean? And then Seattle weather would be entirely different. So, and then you got to play the preference of some quarterbacks like the ball, heavier, or some, like, it's wild the amount of things that are going to go into playing center, and people don't just understand that it's not just oh yeah, he played guard, so we can just move him side to center. There's a lot that's going to go into that, and you got to call everything out.
Well, yeah, and you're only talking about those things, and now you got to block a 320-pound freak athlete as well on top of all that.
Oh, and by the way, Aaron Donald's your week 1 matchup, like.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that go into it, but I mean, I think I was able to Senior Bowl that I'm able to handle it, but I just need to get into a room, get the playbook, get the proper coaching, learn from the veterans, and keep moving forward.
Do you have any draft day plans? Oh. Sorry, go ahead, man. Go ahead, give her.
Yeah, my plans for draft day are pretty simple. I'm gonna go back to where I grew up at my dad's house in Harvard, Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Just gonna chill with my family and my girlfriend and just kind of enjoy the time there with them.
Yeah, right on. That's awesome. I think that's the way to do it, honestly. The draft seems pretty crazy and all that, but I think there's something to be said for just doing that around the people that matter most, help you get there.
and the guys that were around you at the beginning.
Yeah, very special.
Yeah, that's definitely my mindset, is just, be with the original group of people that have been with me since, I made a decision to go to Whitewater or whatever. It's been together with me my whole life. So that's kind of why soft fit.
There'll be plenty of times to get in front of the camera and be on the big stage, have 60,000 fans screaming at you. That comes, and there'll be lots of opportunities for that.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer just to stay home, even if there was like an opportunity to be at the draft. Like, I don't want to be walking across the stage, have all the million eyes on me. Like, I'm okay with just being at my house. And
I totally feel you, man. I get that.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
so
I don't save the money on the fancy suit and everything, and just
exactly right.
You could have done the Zeke crop top, man. You could have done the Zeke crop top.
100% could have worked it in. Like, the belly could have been out.
Yeah,
a crop top suit.
Yeah, it would have been slick. So, like, obviously, you're pretty football committed right now. What else do you like to do? Like, what do you get up to, man? Like, what do you do in your spare time?
Yeah, so I'm either playing some video games. I enjoy playing. It's a game called League of Legends.
Yeah,
I enjoy playing that game. I'm starting to kind of get into hunting this year. My buddy's taking me out to go get a turkey this spring. I'm kind of excited to try that out. And I do enjoy fishing. I haven't had a lot of opportunity to go fishing. Usually my bulk of fishing is up in Canada on my uncle's island. But yeah, those are kind of the things that I like to do. And cooking is another thing I like to do as well.
Cooking, for sure. I definitely enjoy cooking when you're after fishing and hunting, especially when you get like some fresh wild game and just that whole process. I think that's super special. I enjoy that a lot. Do you so you said you haven't done much hunting before, so you're just this turkey hunt will be kind of your first crack at it?
Yeah, it'll be my first real time hunting. I'm excited for it. I've done scouting for turkeys before, and I had a ton of fun. Like, it was just really cool to kind of sit there and call the turkeys. Like, it was just unbelievable. It's such a cool thing to do. So I'm excited to see, what the full experience is going to be like.
It looks like a lot of fun. I haven't had the opportunity to do that up here, but from videos I see online and everything, it's exactly how they come in and that gobble. Like, it looks pretty exhilarating. It's definitely looks like a fun time. What have you ever done?
My friend Ryan loves it. My friend Ryan loves it, and that's who I'm going to go do it with.
That's fun, man. It's always a good time to get out there, try new things. There's definitely tons of fun. I mean, I'm really into hunting. I definitely love goose hunting. Like, that's a good time for sure. And then bigger game as well. It's a slippery slope. Like, if you do one and you get into it, it's quick to find yourself investing a lot of time and money into that hobby.
Yeah.
Have you so you did majority of your fishing up in Canada, like up at that cabin? It seems like a pretty prestigious cabin, hey? Like, I just read the article, and you guys also have like Larry Bird coming up. Like, you guys are pretty well situated up there.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's a place like it. I mean, show me if there is, but I mean, it's a great experience. I mean, we have a bunch of cabins on this island, and if you're a guest up there, you fly in on the plane. Like, it's the full experience. You get to fly on the water plane. get your own little cabin, and all you do is go fishing all week, and then you fly out and go back home, and it's a great place. I mean, nobody is up there. Like, you know, typically like in a lake, you know, in the
sounds
in Wisconsin
awesome.
or something like that, it's just lined with houses, and it's just like it's so annoying. And then we have access to like 5 different lakes, so you can portage through the land portages and really have your own adventure and go fishing all day. I mean, and catch just tons of fish because.
And you must have just a ton of different species, eh? Like just you're not just. Or is it pretty? Like, what are you usually pulling up out there?
Yeah, there's a lot of pike, walleye. I mean, there's some spots you can catch really big largemouth and smallmouth bass, and you can even catch lake trout as well. Early in the season, it's really easy to catch trout because the water's so cold. But like in the heat of the summer, you kind of have to have special equipment because they're down like 60 feet.
Yeah,
you got to do that.
We hit the Lakers hard here. Like I live just off of Cold Lake, and lake trout are definitely one of the more sought after fish out there. I have most of my success in the summer, like with what you said, downrigging. I really tried. I don't know. Have you ever done much ice fishing? I know it's big in Wisconsin too.
Yeah. I've done ice fishing before. I don't have the greatest setup, so I don't do a lot of it. I just have my bucket and my rod. But you know, when you have the actual. Yeah, so when you have an actual setup, I think ice fishing would be a lot better. But I mean, my great uncle has gone ice fishing up in Canada, and that ice is 4 feet thick.
Oh yeah, I was drilling this year. You need an extension on your auger, like it's 3-4 feet thick every time. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's a good time. Like you said, the setup helps a lot, but it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, it really is. And I guess another little story about the Canada place is. He would go up there in the winters, my Uncle Tim, and so he didn't have an ice maker or anything up there. He had a ice chest thing. So what he would do is he would go up in the winter, and then he would have a 4-foot chainsaw and cut blocks of ice out of the lake, and then store them in his ice chest for the next season. So if you wanted ice, you have to go take an ice pick and then pick off the ice that you wanted.
Like super old school, how they did it like 150, 200 years ago. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is that cabin of your guys open seasonally, or is it just a summer thing, spring summer kind of deal?
It's just a summer kind of deal. He used to, because it's on Hector Lake, so he would spend a week up there in the winter. But I mean, like if you have a fire going like all day, like consistently keeping it really hot, like you can maybe get your cabin to 50 degrees. It's like it's so cold all the time. It gets like negative 30 like, consistently. So like. It's
East Coast winters. East Coast winters are different in Canada.
Yeah, they are. They're definitely different. One other thing we caught wind of is your what would you call it? I guess your merch or your organization, if you will, your Beast of the Belly, and how you're trying to raise money for your coach's daughter there and everything. Like, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So the shirts are already like the sale is no longer available, but if you do want to, check out the story or whatever, I do have a link to the GoFundMe and stuff. But yeah, so I did a fundraiser after the I guess the hype of Senior Bowl. I was like, holy cow! Like I got a crap ton of following, so I wanted to kind of push that for something else. And so I came up with a cool shirt design with my cousin Nick, and we wanted all the sales of the shirts and stuff to go to Elena. And so her foundation is Hugs for Elena, and it's to go towards GLUT1, which is a rare, pretty extremely rare disease. I mean, there's only a couple hundred people in the world that have it. And so I've always kind of seen, the stress that it's put on my coach's family, and just the overall, stuff that is happening. So I wanted to do something to raise money for them, and you can find more about her story, and she's just an inspiration to me. So I want to do something to help them out. And that kind of goes back to the community stuff. I enjoy doing stuff like that. I mean, I didn't really like the attention on me, so I told her, I'm like, hey, I'm putting it on you, and she started laughing. I thought that was funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh, that's big. Oh, so those Belly of the Beast shirts are all gone. I honestly, like, I went online yesterday to try and buy one, and I couldn't. I was I was like, no, I missed it.
Oh, yeah. You got as soon as you get colors, as soon as you get like once
Yeah, you gotta drop
draft
more
is
of those,
done,
man. They're
you
great.
got to bring those back because we're sending you the HawksNest one. We're going to do a chopping it up one for you and send it to you. So hopefully you can wear it maybe on Sunday when you're walking in with your cowboy hat.
Yeah, that would be funny. That would be funny. But yeah, I'm not sure what the move is next. I'm not sure if those shirts will ever come back, or maybe I'll have a different shirt. I guess we'll kind of see. We'll kind of see what happens because we did it was just a one-time order type of thing, so that way we could have everything like kind of predetermined. So that way it wasn't like order it and you get it in a day. Like it was like a huge pre-order thing. But
right.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen. So
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so are you nervous at all about the center position? Are you excited about the center position?
I'm excited, man. Like I kind of, the way I look at it, like internally is like, I'm either going to be a small guard or a big center. So I think if I can learn, I just need to learn a lot of things. I think, and I think a lot of that is exciting. I think for a lot of O-line coaches and a lot of teams is that I feel like personally, I feel like I have a really high ceiling that I can really get up to because I am so limited in my knowledge.
Yeah, I hate the word raw. I hate the word raw, like the raw prospect, but it kind of fits because there's things there that you can see on film that you are dominant in, but you're like just teach me a little bit of how to play this position that I've never played before, and I promise you I'll be good. Like that's
yeah, I'm willing to put work in it. I think that's another thing that I was able to kind of show. I'm showing that one, that I'm versatile. Two, I'm willing to put in the hard work, and I was able to come to the Senior Bowl prepared and ready without having a season, and also coming from Division III. So I think I was able to show a lot during that, and I think that's what is probably interesting to a lot of teams. Like, hey, like we can coach this dude up and like let's get going, because like there's a lot of things that I'm able to learn. I think that's the biggest thing. As I'm excited to get into one of those rooms and start talking with the online coach and the offensive coordinator and start getting moving.
You're gonna live at the facility, aren't you?
Pretty much. Like it's gonna be
like are you even gonna you don't? So you have
rent an apartment, just live at the practice field, set up a cot.
Is your girlfriend or wife even gonna come with you? She's just gonna stay in Wisconsin because you're just gonna live at the facility. Like the locker room, just gonna live there.
We'll see what happens, but I mean, honestly, until I have like 100% understanding, and even then, like I'm just gonna be living at that place just because I love the game so much, and I just want to make sure that I'm able to provide as much as I can to helping the team win.
You must be excited about what I mean. I don't really know, but I'm gonna assume, which is dangerous, but I'm assuming you must be looking forward to the upgrade in facilities. Like you're going to have the access to the best of the best. Like it's going to be a big leap for you. I'd imagine that's pretty exciting.
It is. It was even a big leap at the Senior Bowl to get like free stuff.
Yeah.
Because like,
okay, so yeah,
I can go in. I mean, at Whitewater, I mean, we don't have scholarships, and two, like we don't get team issue like. People at the Senior Bowl were like, no team issued cleats. And I was like, what does that even mean? No. Like, I had to buy these cleats. It's like you had to buy your own stuff. And it would be cool to, like, you just go up to your equipment manager and be like, hey, I need, like, 3 pairs of these gloves. And they go, here you go. And it's like, that was unbelievable.
I don't like these colors.
Really nice.
I would like a new pair. I would like a new color.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's how it was at the Senior Bowl.
So, yeah, like on game day, like we had like everything was orange and stuff. Like at our locker, we had like free bicep bands and head caps and gloves and anything else you could want.
Swag,
like whatever you needed to get fit.
Yeah, there were snacks in there too to get ready for the game, and like we did have like our in between stuff like on game day at Whitewater, but like during practice, like you get a couple, little I don't know, wafer things to get ready for practice. I don't know. It was a different experience, and I don't think it's not gonna like deter me or anything. But like our locker room at Whitewater is actually really nice. So yeah, if you guys do want to check it out, like our new locker room is really nice actually.
Yeah, definitely.
And our new training room is really nice as well. We have a hot tub, a cold tub, and an underwater treadmill as well. So
I didn't have that.
Yeah, so our facilities are definitely like now are
That's
better, a lot better than most. So,
Well, you guys have been, that's a
even
pretty
our-
successful program, right?
Mhm.
From what I gather,
And
like,
our stadium is beautiful too. Like, not even like being biased, like our stadium is awesome. Like, we have really nice
Yeah.
facilities at Whitewater,
No,
especially for being a Division III school.
your facilities are very, very well. I mean, I think Matt was talking more about like the NFL jump for like swag, and in terms of like, you know,
well,
you're
I'm
fully
thinking more
taking
like,
care.
like
Yeah.
I'm thinking more like just during practice, the equipment, not so much like the swag stuff. Like, you know, I'll use like those robot dummies they use out on the field.
Oh,
and
just like
stuff
the
that.
advancements. Well, like
Yeah, like the
you can have
film room and like how you're gonna have
film and-
breakdowns,
oh,
like
yeah,
just
those
that next
upgrades.
level in preparation that they provide for you. Because it sounds like you're big on that, right? And I'd imagine the NFL is going to give you everything you need.
Yeah, I think it'll be, you know, to have just a lot more tools that is gonna be awesome, and I'm really excited to see what the weekly process is gonna be like. I know, you know, there's gonna be similar things on teams, but that's also gonna be different. So I'm excited to see how whatever team picks me prepares, you know, each week, and the resource that you're gonna have of people, because I mean, there's someone there all the time, and for equipment and stuff, I think offensive line stuff is just gonna be the same. You got your chutes, you
It's
got
the
your
same.
sled.
I didn't like doing anything. I wore
That's
the
true.
same. I had the same swag when I went from freaking like swag or whatever, or like I had the same setup. I taped my wrist. I wore a pair of gloves, and I wore the same pair of cleats until they basically busted. Because I don't know about you, but I had like breaking in a new pair of cleats was like the worst thing in the world as an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I definitely like the, you know, I mean, I kind of had to be at Whitewater, but I mean, regardless, like wearing everything until you can't wear it anymore.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know what time Cincinnati's got a call at because I got to get in the way. Like you're a big deal. I think you need to know this. I don't think you truly understand the magnitude of like you coming on our show, and we're, you know, 8 weeks ago or whatever, Matt, we started this 10 weeks ago. We started this as just a small podcast, and this was just something we talked about. And I went Division I AA, but I ended up leaving. I didn't play my entire career there. I can get into that another day. This is about you. So I thought my football Rolodex was a little bit there. I have some reach. I have some guys that I know, and then I was able to get a random, you know, a like, and then I do a video on it, and then I'm like, oh, cool. Like all of a sudden I'm sitting down talking to Quinn Meinerz. Like, you're a big deal, dude. Like, I think you need to when do you think it's ever gonna kick in? Do you think it's ever gonna kick in?
No, I think that's just like I don't know, a character thing maybe. Like I'm just chilling, being myself, doing what I do. So like I don't really look at it like that. You know, I was never like a big social media guy, but you know, I've kind of posted a little bit more than I usually would, just because I think a lot of people want to know certain things. So I step out of my comfort zone to try to like provide some type of whatever. Cause I mean, a ton of people are following me. It's like, all right, well, now I think people are interested in what I want to do or what I do and stuff like that. So I don't think it's gonna change. I'm gonna keep being the same person that I've always been, and I think that's why, you know, maybe that's why there's so many people that, you know, me or whatever. It's just because like wow, this is like
I think there's a lot of good
feel.
traits for you. I mean, there's a lot of good traits and there's a lot of good things. I think there's maybe, you know, Seattle doesn't have an interview with you because they saw everything we see in one sit down. Like we're 15 minutes into talking, and dude, you're hardworking, you're athletic. You can see all those kind of things, those traits that you want in an NFL prospect and in a guy. And all he wants to do is get into the locker room and get into the facilities. He's not going to have a bunch of distractions when he gets money and stuff like that. And I think that just shows where you come from. And that really, that chip on your shoulder, you don't care. You're like, I don't care where I get drafted. Just, dude, 50 or 102. I don't care. I'm going to go. I'm going to get into a playbook. I'm going to play. I'm ready to go. And I just want to win. Like that's why I think maybe, you know, a team like Seattle only does one interview with you. You know, I think you really should be proud in who you are. Like it's awesome, dude. You're a great dude. It's great talking to you about football. Is there what would you want NFL scouts or a team to know that you can't have evaluated or scouted? Like there's no grade or anything you can give it. What would you want a team to know?
I want a team to know, like, to the extent I'm willing to go, whether it be like, you know, the like physical or mental strain to get better or to win or to outperform somebody. And I don't think you can put a grade on that because you don't know what that person is, I guess, feeling on the inside. So I think there's that, you know, every single day I'm going to show up and go to that place and keep breaking through a wall. And for some people, the people get tired of that. And I look forward to the next wall I'm going to break and to keep moving forward. And
or put somebody through it.
Yeah.
Part of the mentality is just who I am. And I think I was able to grow through that in high school with wrestling. And that's, I always love talking about wrestling, but you know, I think that's the stuff you can't grade is the grit and the
willingness to do the dirty work.
It just sounds like just like an unwavering commitment. Like you're not like you're here to do one thing and that's be a successful football player. And it's clear from what we've seen today and what we see online and everything like that. Like your character definitely resonates with people. I think that's a big part of why you've got a lot of fans. You seem like just a really down to earth, hardworking dude who's just making it. And I think that's just like an inspiration to a lot of people, right?
And that's what I set out to do, you know. Believe me or not, but like 4 years ago when I, you know, committed to Whitewater, I was like, all right, well, I got 4 more years to play football. I want to become the best football player that I can be. And, you know, I quickly realized that it takes a lot more than just, you know, practicing every single day and lifting as well. Like there's a lot more sacrifices that you have to do. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, which is like being consistent with your sleep schedule, being consistent with your diet. And then on top of that, there's a lot of prehab you have to do as well. So like, you know, there's a lot of, you know, injuries that happen, you know, ankles, shoulders, hands and wrists, like knees. I mean, pretty much your whole body can get hurt playing offensive line. And you know, there's a lot of things that you can do to try to prevent it as much as possible. So like, there's all these aspects that it takes. And I think a lot of people, you know, that say they want to be in this position only focus on like the only football side of things. And that would be my, I guess, piece of advice of anybody that's listening to this or, you know, wanting to know what it takes. And I think there's a lot of different phases that it takes to be a good football player. You got to be, you know, solid, you know, got to be mentally strong, you got to be physically strong, as well as being on top of discipline. So there's a lot of different phases that it takes. And I think those are other things that you can't really grade. You just kind of have to hope that one of your players is doing that.
Well, I think it's really important that you've kind of got that figured out already. Like you see so many people go pro that just kind of are not reckless, but that knowledge you have and that self-awareness to take care of yourself. Like you're investing as a professional athlete, you are your biggest investment. And you see guys like LeBron and Russell Wilson investing a lot of money. Geez, even James Harrison, I don't know if you follow him on Instagram. His recovery and everything is just ridiculous. That dude is a machine. And it's so worth it. Those guys all are on their way to long careers or have had long careers. And I think that's an excellent point to bring up. And it's crazy that you're already on it, man. Like I can only imagine once you get to the pros with all, like we talked about, the access you have, I think you'll be well on your way.
Yeah. And like you said, with their resources and stuff, I mean, you could tell the longevity piece too is, you know, someone like LeBron's able to keep performing at an elite level because of how much he's able to be consistent with what he does. And especially with James Harrison too. I mean, that guy is just big, strong, but your next workout can only be as good as the recovery that you had before. So like,
absolutely,
there's that piece. And, you know, some guys can get away with different things and some guys can't. For me, I have to do everything right to get what I got. So like, you know, when you hear like you know, Ocho Cinco, you know, where he's
can eat McDonald's all day on?
Yeah, eating McDonald's.
I can't. I cannot do that.
It ain't for me.
I have to eat. No.
Matt, you talked about this like the entire time we like grew up together, Matt. Like your metabolism works differently. Like Matt can eat way more than I can. Like I can't eat like that. Like I balloon up. Like I feel this is probably the heaviest I've ever been since I played football. and this isn't good. Like, I know I got to dump some weight. And a lot of guys do it. Like Joe Thomas is a guy that I was like, dude, if he can, like, he was an offensive lineman his entire life. There was no point where he was like not a skill position. He was just big all his life. And you talked about it. You were like, this isn't beer. This isn't, in the article, you were like, this isn't a beer belly. This is all rice and beef. This is hard work right here.
It's a strong
man belly. Yeah. That's it.
I think there's a strong man that said that the abs aren't a symbol of strength. It's that you don't eat enough or something like that. Like there was, I think it was JF Carone. He's a strongman from Canada. He goes, yeah, abs aren't a signal of power. It means you don't eat enough.
Oh my goodness,
shit, that's worse to live by, eh? I love it.
So you have a lot of ties to Canada. Would you ever consider like visiting another area or like going to a different place and seeing, like, because Vancouver's a tourist hotspot, and Alberta's another place that has great fishing, ice fishing during the winter.
We got big football programs too. Like, and I think we're starting to see a lot more talent come out of Canada, especially in the prospects. Like, there's a few this year. We saw Chase Claypool blow up last year. I think it's becoming more of a football hub, and I think from like having experience playing high school ball and stuff, it would be really cool to see more of an NFL presence, especially in the Lower Mainland. Like, we play 4-down ball, we play NFL rules, and it would be, I think it would benefit, obviously, you know, our programs and everything to have more of an NFL influence, but is also maybe lead to more talented guys coming into the show, you know?
Yeah, I think to answer the first part, I mean, I'd love to go see other parts of Canada, because like it's such a massive place that I'm sure each region kind of has its own like special, you know, type of, I don't know, you know, what the nature that presents itself there. Like, you know, I was able to spend a lot of time in Texas this past fall to try to keep preparing and training. And I mean, each corner of Texas is completely different, and that's just one state. Imagining, you know, each kind of little place of Canada and the different type of fishing. I mean, a lot of beautiful places up there that I've seen. You know, the lakes are, you know, different colors and stuff like that. Like where we fish, a lot of the lakes are like this kind of darker tinted color. But to be able to go to some of these like bright blue lakes where it almost looks like an ocean would be really cool.
Banff. Everyone hypes up Banff, Alberta, which is a gorgeous, massive lake, like Lake Louise in Alberta. Oh, Team Quinn. Okay, so Team Quinn. So I would say Team 3 is like everything's kind of been hyped up about Russell Wilson and all the trade talk. I don't know if you follow it or seen any of the rumors that go on, but there's a lot of talk about Russell Wilson getting traded. Team 3 was a part of it. Team Quinn Meinerz. Is there any teams that your grandpa or your uncle or your parents are kind of like, you know, that's where we want you to go?
Yeah, I think a lot of people would want me to stay in state and play for the Packers. A lot of my family is Packers fans. I mean, I was a Packers fan for a little bit growing up watching Brett Favre, but I really enjoyed Tom Brady's story of, you know, I kind of always being the underdog. So I was a Patriots fan for a while as well. So yeah, pretty much all my family and friends would want me to play for the Packers, or a lot of friends that I've gained at Whitewater would want me to play for the Bears.
Oh, the Bears.
Oh, the Bears.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our team is from Illinois, because we're pretty close to the border. So I feel like
that's a tough thing. We can, you know, that's interdivisional. That's a big rivalry.
Yeah.
That puts two people. It puts a lot of tough Thanksgiving conversations, I guess. Term.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're just gonna wrap this up, Quinn. I really appreciate having you on. Quinn, thank you for coming on HawksNest. We really appreciate having you on. It was awesome to talk with you. We talked about Canada, we talked about football, we talked about the Seahawks and the draft process in itself. We really appreciate having you on. We feel like you're, a part of the, the HawksNest, team that we're kind of building here and having more guys. We really look forward to having you come on. Maddie, you got anything?
Yeah, man, we're definitely rooting for you. Thanks for coming on. We'll be watching for your name on draft day and rooting for you the whole time, man. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on, and for the Seahawks fans that are watching this, I appreciate all the the kind words that you guys have said through social media. So yeah, whatever happens. But hey, I'm a Hawk as well. I'm a War Hawk. So
yeah,
go Hawks, man.
Never forget, we're still,
Hawks,
that's
yes,
why we
sir.
got the HawksNest, man. Warhawks. That's awesome. So we appreciate having you on, buddy. And as always, guys, go Hawks.
Let's go to eat a goddamn snack.